he'll lynch you, but he did, and he laughs.
Hi everybody, Russ on the West Ham Network. Hope you are all safe and well. If you're new, Andy, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a subscribe. Happy Thursday. We're almost there. The week is almost done. The weekend's going to be a belter in the UK. So, get your barbecues ready. Bit cooler today, he says, although it's like 26 degrees. It's a bit cooler. How does that make sense? It's ridiculous, but it's going to start ramping up. And Tuesday next week is going to be balmy. It's going to be balmy. Hope you are all safe and well, my friends. As I said, if you're new, Andy, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a bloody good subscribe. If you look down there and the subscribe button is red, you're not subscribed. Hold on. So just click it and it goes great. I'm just finding my notes. I don't know where I put them. As I try to do every couple of times a week, we sort of give you a little bit of a compendium of all the sort of the transfer rumours. And so that's what we bring today. As Anton always says, roll the bad boy titles. As I said, also, if you didn't watch the interview we did with Igor Stimac last night, check it out. It was really good fun. It's about an hour long, about 50 minutes long. Igor had a little bit of internet problems in Croatia, but lovely gentleman, very, very. And do you know what I like about, we interview obviously lots of ex-players. When he talks about West Ham, and he talks about last season, he always referred to us as the we. We had a good season. We need to build on. We shouldn't be surprised where we are. We need to move on. We need to be, from where we are now to go to the next stage. We. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Let's see if we've got the chat quickly. Mustard Man, hope you're well. Loves in the chat. Happy Hammerette as graces of her presence. Madame. Luke Legend, Jan's here. Liam, hope you're having a good day. James Bong, hello. What's all this then? Good morning. Toby Irons, Gaz is in the house. Everyone's talking to each other. Lovely to see. Hope you're all enjoying it. Hope you're all well. Hope you're all safe. Hope you're all hydrated. That's very important. Richard Stokes is in. Afternoon, Richard. Hope you're well. Right. So as I said, lots of tidbits of information. That's what we try and do. Is we sort of bring together all the latest information that's been in the last 24 hours, 48 hours, and basically present it back to you guys. We're not ITKs, we're not anything at all. We're just normal blokes who sort of do a bit of reading, put it together, so you don't have to bother. Because we know. Over 120 players. I'm actually going to have to start a new page on my list, I think, now. Because we're over 120 players now, which is ridiculous. Or maybe I'll make the font a bit smaller. That's what I might do to get it all into one page. Right, so we have got... Where have my slides gone? Anyway, let me go and bring my slides back in. We've got quite a few. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. But 8 little tidbits of information. That's all it is. What have we got here? Ralph, good afternoon to you. Happy work calls. Good luck to you. Best part of the day, says Harry. Oh, God bless him. Gabigol transfer has been going for 3 years. Almost to the length of... It's almost... Is it long enough? Do we sort of class it in the same bracket as Carlos Bacca and Sean Wright-Phillips and Idaho Johnson? It's almost that level that's been going on. Good day, Razor Johnson. Hope you're well, my friend in Oz. Hope you're well. What's everyone thinking about Broja? We'll talk about that in a minute. In the know nothing. That's what we are. We're ITKNs. I know, or I know nothing. IKN. I know nothing. John, hope you're well. Good afternoon to you. We'll come back to the Broja thing. We'll come back to that later. Liam, be interested to get what people's opinions are. Right, let's start. Let's rattle through these. So the first one is about Bad Boy Benny. Bad Boy Benny, the new Benny. In terms of Brereton Diaz. It's reported that potential buyers have been put off, with Leeds and West Ham being among them in terms of the price tag that Blackburn have put on his head. However, journalist Alan Nixon has reported the clubs are currently being put off by a Chilean news outlet AS, has indicated no formal bids have been made for Diaz. The Lancashire Telegraph earlier this week said they were looking for Blackburn looking for this 20 million quid. If they were to let him leave. Suggestions that the figure may come down due to his contract situation. Blackburn paid 6 million when he moved from Nottingham Forest with a sell-on deal. So obviously there's a sell-on clause as well. So obviously Blackburn want to make as much money out of the deal as possible, because they know full well they've got to give a percentage back to Nottingham Forest. Very similar to Josh Cullen. We had, I think, about 600 grand, didn't we, get out of the deal to Burnley for Cullen? So it's the same principle with them. I'm not sold on Diaz, I'll be honest. That's my own opinion. I think there's other people out there, that's for sure. And we know two of them, and we've spoken about two of them very, very briefly here. Anton spoke a lot about Skamaka yesterday, and the last time we had a Macca, he did all right for us, old Frankie Mack, didn't he? So, in terms of the old Russie rumour rating, the original rumour rating, 5 out of 10. By all accounts, he's going to be, he's our sort of like backup. Must be third choice now, because you've got Broja, Skamaka potentially, and then BBD. But he's got a nice BBD. I like BBD. Although that sounds like that CBD. What we got? Let's see what people say. Gazza, we can talk about Jordan in a minute. If Alan Nixon says it, Stonewall. Take it to the bank. Take it to the bank. Usual suspects. All right, hope you're well. Diaz is a no. Russ, are you SHIT up these days? I was messing about saying Januzaj reunion in 2 months' time in Irish Hammers, and someone seems to think it's legit. You are pulling our leg, John. I don't make anything up. It's been reported elsewhere, and it has been reported for a while actually. Januzaj, to be honest, since he was coming to the end of his contract. But we'll talk about it in a minute. Maybe it was Diaz that we were in for when they said the other Diaz. Good point. Diaz would be my second. I'm very similar. I think he would. I mean, he had a bit of a purples patch. He hasn't really done much since then, to be honest. According to standard, we could bring in Skamaka and Broja. Maybe. I think it's one or the other. And I don't think we'd spend the best part of 60 million quid, almost 70 million quid, really, on two players like that. Maybe he gets one in and then spend the rest on the left side, maybe on the left back. Who knows? Harry's in the chat. Check out Harry's channel, West Ham fan channel. Harry does videos every Saturday. He's got another one coming up. More strikers who could take over from Antonio potentially. Maybe go cheap and back up for one more year, and then Antonio be 33 and then phased out, then go big after. Great shout, H. Great shout. Oi says Mandy, indeed. Januzaj is a bit of 2+2 rumour. Yeah, probably is. You're probably right. Let's move on. Let's talk about Broja. Obviously, there's loads of stuff going on about Broja at the moment. He's on the way to the US, and then today, or yesterday, yesterday afternoon, the signing of Sterling was confirmed. Who's already in America? Who said he was leaving at lunchtime, leaving Man City at lunchtime, and then actually it gets announced by Chelsea about sort of 5 or 6 o'clock, weren't it, yesterday, sort of US time. Now, apparently, Thomas Tuchel's 6-word transfer statement he made yesterday gives West Ham a major boost in their bid for Broja. We're intensively linked with him. I think that's the best good way of describing it. And we're waiting to see whether he's going to be part of Tuchel's plans. I don't think he will be. I think there's too much pressure on Tuchel to deliver at Chelsea. He can't rest his hopes on a 20-year-old, relatively unproven striker. In all honesty, he's played one full season in the Premier League for Southampton. I think they've got the money now to buy players like Sterling. And Broja doesn't really fit into the pattern that Tuchel plays. He doesn't really play with a direct number 9. You see the effect that Lukaku, he didn't have a great time under Tuchel, and is obviously on loan at Inter Milan at the moment. So Tuchel's looking to completely reshape his front line, it seems, and close that gap between the Cities and Liverpool's and Chelsea's. Obviously, Raheem was very much that first piece of the puzzle. Good deal, I think about £40 million, is it, something like that? And then actually he gave a sort of statement afterwards, saying that in an interview to Sky Sports, Tuchel stated that only the best, the very best, will do for Chelsea. Is Tuchel only is Broja only the very best? I don't think so. I don't think he's, no disrespect to him, he's got lots of potential, but I don't think he's in his plans, and we'll see what happens. So for me, the old Rusty Rumour rating, the original Rumour rating, gives him a 7 out of 10. I think he's probably, I mean, me and Anton were talking about it after the Stimac interview yesterday, in terms of what either could bring him or Skamaka, and they both have plus and minuses, and they both have fors and againsts. So yeah, I think it's going to be one or the other. I don't think it's going to be both. Let's see what we got here. Striker, please, Moyes, please. What we've got here, my Siri's just turned on for some reason. Not a fan of him. Seems overhyped compared to others we've been looking at. I think that's Brereton Diaz, but let me know. Get me on a plane to where he is over there in the US. I'll make sure Tuchel agrees on a sale. There we go. Very good, Mustard. Cheers, man. There's an argument to invest before debt goes, else we'll get robbed to rebuild. So Skamaka, Broja, and Lingard. Yes, that dude. Get them in, says Barley. There's a rebuilding process, but also there's a squad rebuilding process in general, in my humble opinion. I think Onana is an interesting one. We'll talk about him in a little bit. I think, for me, I don't think he's a priority at the moment. Unless something happens with Souček. But I don't think anything will happen with Souček at the moment. It's all right saying that we'll take money for this player and this player, but the other team have got to pay the money. As we're saying, Diop, Masuaku, these types of people, unless you buy their buy the rest of their contract, they're still going to be West Ham players. So we'll see. I see Jesse's still in the cards. Why don't we go for Ronaldo instead? PMSL, indeed. I read today that he's been offered something like 300. Isn't it like something like ridiculous, like 300,000? I can't remember what it is. Was it 300 million to play 2 seasons in Saudi Arabia or something like that? It's ridiculous. Everyone's talking to each other. Rooney and Lingard in the US, it seems like, was planned quite a while back. Don't think, but it's DC, it's Washington. I don't think Jesse wants to go Washington. If he was going to anywhere in the States, it'd be Miami. Into Miami. That's what, or LA Galaxy. I don't see him in Washington. It's like, it's not his life. In terms of the lifestyle he wants, it's going to be very much like Miami, or one coast or the other, really. Miami, or it's going to be LA, really. Would Chelsea be thinking the same about? I think Gallagher. I think the midfield is a different prospect. I think he can slot in there quite nicely. Gallagher, maybe available on loan. Who knows? If Ronaldo joins PSV, the top will have a combined age of 72. I don't think it's going to happen, mate. I don't think they can afford it. Jaylings is off to Inter Milan with the other Neville sister. Even if he is, I don't want it to loan him unless it comes with a contract offer to buy afterwards. So in terms of Gallagher, I'm still listening, but I've wall-hung toilet to install. Fair play. Neblin Gaming, hope you're well. Broja, Rumour, Broja, Reality, Kojak, who loves you, baby. When Jaylings joins the MLS, it'll be into Miami. I think it'll be into Miami out of all of them. Or LA. I mean, probably, maybe Galaxy, because LA FC have got, they've got Bale now, and they've got, what's his name? Chiellini as well. So they've probably got 2. So their wage was probably buggered. So maybe LA Galaxy, maybe. Let's move on. Let's talk about Januzaj. People have been saying 2 and 2 stories or whatever. But apparently Adnan Januzaj has turned down a lucrative move to the Middle East in a boost to David Moyes' hopes of signing him potentially. According to Vertbart Krant, it says that Moyes has been has always kept an interest and kept in touch with Januzaj, a free agent after turning down a contract extension with Real Sociedad in La Liga. According to the Daily Mail, West Ham have made contact with his representatives about a return to England. He's 27, still got plenty of time in his top flight, and obviously there's space for a left-footed winger a left-footed right winger, really. Following obviously Yarmolenko's move to the Middle East to Al Ain in Dubai. What's more, he obviously clearly hasn't. It's not about the money, because he rejected the Middle East money in terms of playing out there. For me, it's one of these players who wants to be playing European football because of Qatar World Cup. For getting into the World Cup squad, obviously into the Belgium squad. So yeah, a free transfer. Would it be that bad? I don't know. I said this. This story's been going for a long time. John reckons he made it up, but I don't think he made it up, John. It's been going for a while, but I know what you mean. It has been going for a while. And I mean, the old Rusty rumour rating, the original rumour rating, gives it a 6 out of 10 because sorry, Abu Dhabi. Sorry, he went to Abu Dhabi. Yarmolenko, you're right. You're totally right, Carbo. So for me, I can see it because it's like, I think as well as Man United, didn't he play under Moyes at Real Sociedad as well? He may well have as backup. I don't think he's bad, but look, everyone knows, we've all got opinions. Like we've got arseholes. Some of us talk out a bit too much in terms of what I do. I don't get the Januzaj. He's not hard working when he was younger, so I doubt he has become that when he's older. Fair enough. How much does he want? Don't know. No, please, he's not good enough. There we go. It's been said by Patrick. If we get Ram, I'd break the bank. Now, what? That's going to be. I mean, we won't talk about Ram today, but that's. I mean, I think X said the other day he's one we're looking at. I mean, the fact that we let Hickey go, to me, shows that Moyes didn't fancy him. We've seen several times before that like the whole Downs thing, straight in, bosh. I think Ram. Ram's my choice for left back, but he's going to cost, isn't he? He's going to cost. I'd take him as backup. Can't be worse than Yarmolenko. You're totally right. But Paul says crap. And Simeone says, please no to Januzaj. Indeed. You should do instead. You're totally right. Yes, please to Rami. His quality certainly is. He's a very good left back. He'll be Germany's left back for many years to come in terms of their first choice. Right, let's talk about a guy who's been hanging around like a dart almost as long as Lingard, I'd say. Maybe even longer. Someone reckons about 3 years. I reckon you're probably about right. I think it's about 3 years I reckon we've been after him. In terms of Gabigol. Now, Flamengo Vice President Marcos Braz has suggested he's Brazilian, Brazilian, very good. Has suggested the Brazilian club have rejected a £25 million bid for Gabriel Barbosa, formerly known or better known as Gabigol. And Brazilian journalist Jorge Nicola says that he believes that bid was from West Ham. Apparently a €30 million, £25 million bid was lodged for the Brazilian, and as I said, Nico, the journalist, reckons it was West Ham. The bid was allegedly broken down into an £8 million loan fee with an option to buy for £17 million next summer. Now that sounds more like West Ham, not saying 25, but a loan fee plus we'll buy him at the end. Yeah, I can see that. Flamengo would clearly prefer the cash up front. The 25-year-old, as we know, has scored an absolute shed load of goals for the Brazilian team. 104 goals and 161 appearances. This year, he's got 20 goals, 2 assists in 39 games. And we know he's a proven goal scorer. Didn't do it when he was in Italy, and has always had this sort of like ideal to come back to Europe and prove he can do it. Again, like it's just I've seen all the comments. It's brilliant. Is that the guy they call Gabigol? Indeed. What we got here? Wow, Gabigol. Been linked to that guy for years. We certainly have. Why can't we get our transfers nice and quick? It's always the same after you offer. I think, John. To be honest, I think with the transfers, I mean, the whole Downs thing happened very, very quickly. Stuff is happening, but I don't think we are seeing. I think now we're starting to see maybe the people we want to put the money behind. So I think now we're starting to see the likes of Scarmack, who's come a little bit. He was sort of on the peripherals, and now we put a bid in, or apparently put a bid in for him. Several sources have collaborated that it's an official bid for Scarmacker. Whether that is to get him in, or whether it is to turn Chelsea's hand, I don't really know. Chelsea don't have to sell him, Broja, but I think they may sell him to balance the books up a little bit. They've got enough, a flush with cash a little bit in the moment, to be honest. I think Rahm looks like a guy that we're looking at. I think guys like maybe we were never looking at Lewis Potter, or maybe, I don't know. It was a strange one with Lewis Potter, Hickey as well. By all accounts, what I've heard from various people is we didn't fancy him. We had a look in, we didn't fancy him. Maybe Rahm is, we don't know. We talk about left back in the tick as well. I just don't know, to be honest. Got to dash, got to collect the wife. While I'm out, I think of another harebrained transfer that everyone we're talking about. I'm thinking Fellaini. Very good. Thank you, John. Gabigol, when he was young, he was touted as the next Brazilian star. Something must be wrong with his personality. He's never really made it, isn't he? We have a great record with South Americans signing him up. We certainly do. We've got loads of them. Funny enough, one of the top strikers is Jonathan Calleri. God bless him. Jonathan Calleri was a post away for, I think, being a good player for us. If he'd scored that goal, it was against Man United where it hit the post. If he'd scored that goal, I think he would have gone. Oggy stays fit. We'll be like having a new signing. Totally right. He looks fantastic. He looks really good. He looks really, really fit at the moment, doesn't he? And as I said, 8 months without playing professional football. Fair play to him. The old Rusty Rumour rating is going to give it a 4 out of 10. I just can't see it happening with Gabigol. It's been going on for too long. But I can see £8 million loan deal. That's a bit of a West Ham-y type situation, isn't it? £21. Right, we'll give you £8 million. And if he's good, we'll give you £17 million next summer. Now that seems not a bad idea, because if Antonio's probably got a season left, Gabigol on £8 million, it's a bit of a risk, but it's a high fee. But maybe they need a high fee. And then if he's any good, we'll buy him in the summer, next summer. I can say some of Harry said very, very similar in his comment. Right, let's talk about Simeone. Let's talk about Giovanni Simeone. He's again a bit around the peripherals, but apparently West Ham have been quoted £16.9 million to sign him this summer. That's according to Calcio Mercato, my favourite Italian news outlet. That's the price the Serie A side, in terms of Hellas Verona, have put on his head after he scored 17 goals for them to help them finish 9th in Serie A. But there's a possibility here his price could be lowered by Napoli, who may use one of their strikers in a swap deal for the striker, who is also known as El Chotio. There we go. Simeone wants to play as many games as possible during this season. He's 27, been in sensational form for the likes of Napoli and Monza. They're apparently both looking at him. Hellas Verona are likely to be in a rush to sell him. He's obviously got 4 years left in his contract. Obviously, they bought him out after his loan spell. I think it's around £10 million from Bologna. Because he was on loan to them with an obligation or the option to buy, and obviously scored a lot of goals from last season. And maybe he's got 4 years. I mean, he's 27. The ability to make 6 or 7 million quid within the space of a couple of months on him could be an option. I don't think so. I think clearly we've sort of not pinned our colours, but there seems to be definitely a couple of players who are after in terms of the forward position. The old Rusty Rumour rating, the original Rumour rating, gives us a 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10. He's got that sort of that Tevez about him, and I quite like that. And he's doing it in a European league. Look at me. Scarmacker scored a shitload. This is in terms of Serie A as well. So there we go. What everyone says, everyone's talking to each other. Not as bad as Zaza though. There we go. Or Torre, Boogers is better. Don't forget, we do Hammers in Hot Water on a Sunday. We've done a thing about Boogers. We've done a show about Savio. We've done a show about Margas. We did a show about. Have we done 3 or 4? Can't remember. And this week we're going to do it on Manuel on a Minimi. We're going to do it on the whole Manny Gate, so that'd be quite funny. Always got to do a loan deal with West Ham way, indeed. Just to swap down, we're using Gabriel Vlasic. 5 o'clock, Mandy. Watch Hammer's headlines. Obviously, yesterday we had our interview with Igor Stimac, and he had a lot of stuff to say about Vlasic. So keep an eye on that. Who was that black striker we were playing up front a while ago? His first name was Victor Bina. God bless him. Hi Russ, how's you, bruv? Please tell me that Fabio is on. No, I don't think he's gone. There we go. That's Diego Simeone. His son, he looks good, but his age is a problem. He's 27. He is, and I think, but then, that's reflecting the price, isn't it? Like 16, 17 million quid. If he was 23, he'd be on 30, 40 million, isn't it? So I get that. Diaz, Simeone, Gabigol, none true, rehashed old stories. Simeone doesn't look too bad, but he's already 27. We'll prefer somebody younger. Me too. Right, let's go. Who is next? We have got. Let's have a quick look. I forgot who it is myself. We're staying in Serie A. We're staying Serie A, and we're staying with Argentinian players, and we're looking at Correa. So apparently, West Ham and Leeds have emerged as suitors for the Inter forward Joaquin Correa, as they look to, and particularly Leeds, obviously they look to replace potentially the Barcelona-bound Rafinha. And obviously we're looking for arguably another winger as well. Inter apparently want at least 22 million euros for him. That's according to Gazzetta, the Italian news outlet, who reported that us and Leeds would be interested in bringing him, 27 though, to the Premier League. And also other teams in La Liga are interested in him as well. However, it's believed his most serious suitors are in the Premier League with Leeds and West Ham. He's a great player. Good cheat one on FIFA. Oh yeah, he just said it. Good on FIFA. He's cheat one on FIFA. He is. But again, 27. Can't say him. The old Rusty Rumour rating, I'm going to put 5 out of 10. 50-50 chance on that one. 50-50 chance, I would say. But we'll see. We'll see. What we got here? Rafinha said there's no... Yeah, apparently so. We'll talk about Pellegrini in a minute. Syria doesn't look too bad. We're 27. Yeah, we said that. What about Jordan? We're going to talk about Jordan in a tick. Decent player, says Senegal. Decent, but I think it's his age as well. 27 again. You think, would we spend 22 million euro on a 27-year-old? Might have 3 years left, a good standard, or play Okaflex, innit? I mean, he looks really on fire. Talking about another youngster, let's talk about Wijnaldum. Now, apparently, West Ham now have a great chance, apparently, to sign the PSG midfielder, Gini Wijnaldum, this summer. It's according to a report from The Keep, who is also cited by the Daily Mail, who claim that he is now being transfer listed by PSG. According to The Keep, he's one of 9 players on the transfer list put on there by PSG. Obviously, he left Liverpool to link up with the French team on a free transfer in summer 2021, last year. He's capped by Holland 86 times. And obviously was a very good player for Liverpool and obviously Newcastle beforehand. And arguably helped Liverpool win the Champions League. He was brilliant the following season and obviously played a key role in them winning the Premier League. That's the following season. Now for me... I just think he's going to want too much wages, too many wages, and I think when you're looking at sort of deals and you're looking at maybe some guy we're talking about in a minute in terms of Onana, his package will probably be comparable to Wijnaldum in terms of transfer fee and wages, whereas his will be signing on fee, probably transfer and wages, and I think he's a younger model. The old Rusty Rumour rating has gone with a 2 out of 10. I can't see this one happening. At all. Let's see. Let's go back and have a look at some comments quickly. Gabigol, I'll go for a loan along with Skarmaka, and it would give competence. Exactly, Brian. I like that indeed. I think, and then you've got sort of the best part of the season to look at Gabigol if he can. He's 25 as well. Scarmacker's 23 as well. So why not? Wijnaldum doesn't fit his philosophy. Disregard this one as well. Mark's just disregard. We disregard most. We have not been linked. We have not put bids in for over 120 players, have we? The chat, I reckon we probably put bids in for 10, and we've won 4 of them. Do you know what I mean? So I don't think there's a lot of actual movement there. But sorry, just bring him all to you. I sure hope he's not too old and has had no form for a while. Want players in the up, not down. See Yarmolenko. He has in Abu Dhabi. Take him on loan on a permanent, says Harry. What I've seen is Moyes is liking younger players who can form what needs, and he does not need that most. Yes, I totally agree, but sometimes, and I see this with the England side when we obviously got to the final and we didn't have that experience, that nous to get over the line. And one thing I think struggled with in Europe this year was experience in European football, proper experience, and obviously Ginny's played at the highest level, and he's so he would be able to assist on that. And I think sometimes we need that little bit of experience. It's great having youth and same as that England game, in the finals. If we had someone with a bit of nous about him, he could have come on, calmed the game down, and played it out. And I think sometimes it's great having youth, it's great having, sort of a young side, but we need a little bit of experience just to help things along a bit. And I think you either buy that in or you get into Europe again, which so we'll be more experienced this year in the Conference League than we were last year. Anyway, we'll see. No player fits in. Just get rid of him, says Paul. It's highly experienced, wouldn't be bad signing. That's exactly what I was trying to say. Always players linked, not one ITK. Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Why haven't we gone for Usam Aou? I don't know. Good player though. He's only up for 12 million quid. There we go. Duke's in the house. I love Gabby and Ram, but think I'll be happy with our window. Oh, you want Gabigol? Fair enough. Alex Crowder signed for Schalke. He has. He stopped his contract with Spartak Moscow when he came anyways. He was allowed to do that, so there we go. We are not in Europe yet. Good point, Paul. In it. Bearer of bad news as always. Ram and Arna, Sar, Broja, what a side that would make. Indeed. I think what we're going to do, what I'm going to do, maybe tomorrow or maybe Monday. It might be tomorrow actually, because I think what's quite interesting. I think I want to put my team that I think is going to start against City. That's what I'm going to put my team. And to be honest, there's not going to be a lot of change, I don't think, than what we had last year. In all honesty, because I think we get to a point now where you bring players in, they haven't necessarily got time to really embed themselves into the squad for the first game. Anyway, that's just my opinion. Hi Russ, sorry I'm late. By the way, it's -6 degrees in Cab. Hey, it's 26 here. Hey, Domingo's in disarray at the moment, so I can see why he would want to leave. There we go. Right, let's got a couple more. Let's carry on regardless. Who's next? Oh, it is the man himself. Onana, push the pineapples, grind coffee. Apparently Darnesh, we love Darnesh. Sky Sports Darnesh reports that West Ham have not closed the door. Don't turn around now because you're not welcome anymore. On their chase for how far? Yeah, go walk out the door. Don't turn around now. You're not welcome anymore. But apparently we haven't closed the door on our chase for the little sensation and on after seeing 2 bids rejected. Apparently we've bid €23 million and €30 million, but we're still deciding whether to make a third bid. Reports say it could take at least 50 million quid, which would be €60 million, to tempt the League One club to sell with 4 years left to run on his contract. Now, again, similar, it seems that they've gone in for 2 formal bids, that this is the guy we're interested in. You know what I mean? So for me, that's what I mean. We're starting to see the cream is starting to rise to the top a little bit. And we're not seeing 20, 30. I think we've basically run out of notes, to be honest. But we're getting this the cream is rising a little bit. And I think this is this is one of the ones that we're interested in. This is one we're interested in, and I think it's going to come to a case of money. Just come to a case of money. I'm going to put a 5 out of 10 because I think money's going to be the issue. Particularly, we've got position. I mean, Onana isn't necessarily a priority signing for us. You got to think we need a left back, we need a forward, maybe we need a left wing, and then maybe look at central midfield a bit more. I don't know, but if he's available, clearly Moyes likes him. He's very aggressive. He's the type of player I think we'd really enjoy. What we got here, especially Lanzini might be leaving, one upgrade. Yeah, exactly. In terms of Central is going to be very interesting. It certainly is. I don't think it is, Gaz. I think we sort of know. I think we all know what the put 2 is going to be. But it's good to have options. Onana, what's his name? What's your name? Yeah, we need to figure out something else now. Rebid the same bid we put him and his agent are pushing out. I think they would push the club to say, well, apparently his agent is pushing for him to move now. So of course it is because he wants money. Nana, it's the song of the bass of the day. Yes, Mark. Very good. What a voice. They do say I am the bowling Buble. There we go. Please, can we go for... We've spoken about Zagadou, push pineapples, crying coffee. We were looking at him. I'm already jiving it now. Very good. Lanzini is going to Besiktas for 12 million. I don't think he is. I think Lanzini will eventually go back to Buenos Aires, go to Boca Juniors, when these kids are a couple of years older, I think. Well, Nano's replacement for Rice needs 1 season to get used to the Premier League. Possibly, Paul, you're probably right. You're possibly right there, mate. And it's not a bad thing to get him in early. And what happens, so we'll see what happens. Bowling, that's so far very good. I do try. Or the London Stadium Sinatra. You take your pick. I've got them all. Last but not least, some people put this little asked about this player. Jordan. So apparently West Ham are keeping a watchful eye, not just an eye, they're keeping a watchful eye on Bournemouth left back Jordan Zamora over at no. Is it Zamora? Zemura? I'll say Zamora. It's not. It might be. Over a potential transfer. According to TalkSport, our friends at TalkSport. 22-year-old had a breakthrough season for the Cherries. He played 33 of 46 championship games, scoring 3 goals, picking up 1 assist. We know Moyes is looking at fresh legs. He's looking at fresh legs in terms of left back. Cresswell's 33 now, and apparently the Zimbabwean international has been identified as one of the names they could pursue. He could be available. Ding, 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 for a cut price deal. There we go. That's how things like those little things come into me. Could be a cut price deal. As he's entering his last year of contract. The contract runs out at the end of this year, the 22-23 season. So obviously he'll be a free to go unless a deal has been made. So they may come to agreements to get him, to get rid of him rather than come back. Rather than having nothing, very similar to a few of the other deals we've seen today. So we could swoop. He's, for anyone who doesn't know, he's a very attacking fullback, left fullback, obviously, and the type of player I think Moyes would enjoy, type of player we would enjoy, I think, watching play. And likes against the byline, likes taking on defenders, likes running, likes getting crosses in. Could be, it could be a cheaper alternative to Ram, maybe. I don't know. There's no fee attached. Obviously, Bournemouth have just been promoted. But because he's entering his last year of his contract, they may well decide to get rid of him now. I don't know. I could see something that's happening. There's a lot of little ticks in my head. So I'm going to put 6 out of 10 for the old Rusty Rimmer rating, the original Rimmer rating. Let's see if we've got in the chat what else. Hopefully West Ham are keeping tabs on Norwich striker, being on fire in the pre-season. Jordan Hugill, heard of him? No more news on JWP, mate. No news at all, mate, as always. I'm predicting Downs will be Rice's replacement. I'm loving this sort of bromance between Downs and Rice. It's very new, But as I said, it's got that sort of what Noble was to Rice is to Downs, albeit Rice is only 6 days older or something ridiculous like that. But Rice seems to be such an elder statesman because he's played so many Premier League games under his belt. Cheers, Maddie. Happy you well. Have a great. The Hornchurch Harry Seacombe. Or the Hornchurch Harry Connick Jr. I'll take that. When you're sat in Rose Ed and the ball hits your head, it's Zamora indeed, bless him. I think one more season, Paul, he said he can't wait to get back into training. I mean, if you saw Declan Rice's video on Twitter of him, of the club released it, of him walking into training. He didn't walk into training, he bounced into training. He was like a kid at Christmas. That to me is not a kid who's looking to leave. That is a kid who's really excited about his season. Also, officially / unofficially, he's been obviously the captain next season as well. So we'll see. Have we given up on Jesse? I don't think we've given up on him, but I don't know. We don't know, do we? That's why we're here, not involved in the club or anything like that. But I think there's a realisation that actually Jesse is still deciding where he wants to go. And if he wants to come to us, great. But we're not going to pay him wherever he wants, because otherwise we'd have already got him in the door. So obviously there's a pay cap there. We'll pay you this. Great. And he's like, maybe, okay, well, thanks for that. I'm going to go and see what everyone else has got, and then we go. I mean, Brian's going to forget Jesse. He obviously doesn't want to join, or he's just weighing up. He's just weighing up his options. I really think so, Brian. I mean, this is, it's just his job. And I think people that really pisses me off sometimes. When people are like, oh, Jesse Lingard, fuck off. It's like, well, not really. It's like, I wouldn't go for the first, if someone offered me, and I've said this before, if someone offered me a job, I always go back and say, actually, I'm on another 10 grand more than I'm on. You always try and get a bit more money, or you sit there and you look at other places. And for him, it's a lifestyle thing as well as if he goes to MLS, he's not going for the football. He's going for the money and he's going for the lifestyle. Again, I said to someone, Chris, I said it to Chris Ross, the East End poet, when I bumped into him at Lakeside on Saturday. I said, he was talking about Jesse, and I said, look, in the day, someone said to me, you can do the work you're doing now, but it's easier, less stressful, on double the money you're on now, plus it's really nice lifestyle. I'd be like, get me on the plane. I would. I think I honestly would. There's no way Jesse's getting into the England squad now, in terms of the World Cup. No way. He would need to be literally banging in 5 goals a game, to get noticed from the 1st of August in the Premier League. So I think for me, great. If he's not, see what happens in it. Didn't Noise say he was only looking at upgrades? This is one we have better, or maybe we do, maybe don't, Mark. Maybe we assume. But the thing is, Longelo hasn't got, he hasn't got. I mean, this guy's made 30 odd appearances in the Championship rather. So he's got lots of games under his belt. Longelo hasn't. Maybe this guy's already. Maybe it's. Maybe the view would be this guy and Longelo to take over from Cresswell. I don't know. We all assume that the youngsters are better, but I don't know if they are because they haven't broken in. Ben Johnson, I think he will be playing left back, but also he'll be covering right back. Ashby, the same. He'll be covering right back. He'll be that third choice right back, I think, in all honesty. If a club came, and I said it to the boys on the WhatsApp group, if a club came in for Ashby on loan, would you send him out on loan, or leave him in the squad where he might get a couple of games, or go and get 40 games under his belt in the Championship? It's a real balancing act, and there's a reason why we're all here chatting on our YouTube channel rather than actually doing it professionally, because it's their job, isn't it? We want players who will play for the badge, not the cash. Mustard man, I think that, in all honesty, I think nowadays that whole view is not. I think someone like Flynn Downs is an exception to the rule. Aguerd could have gone to Newcastle for the money. It's their job. It's their job. They want to get as much money out of him as possible. If he goes to Miss MLS for us, it's like you DJing at OAP parties. Exactly. It's very true. I would love him to join. Fingers crossed that he does. Lingard can forward to the USA, but we don't know what that reject here, says Paul. I would prefer a proper pro rather than this kiss the badge nonsense. I mean, Moyes brings in proper pros, doesn't he? And if Lingard did come, he would give his all, and he would have a go. And you can't deny, he played well when he came here. He did enjoy it. But, that's only one. The football aspect is, unfortunately, nowadays with footballers, it's only one area. It's about the money, isn't it? It is about the money. And, that's not their fault. That's not their fault. That's football's fault. That's the Premier League's fault. That's Sky's fault. That's, Amazon's fault. That's not Jesse Lingard's fault. You want to make as much money as you want. The same as you. Look, you want to make as much money as you can in your career, and it's the same with them. Particularly then, they got a smaller career because they'll retire at the age of 34, maybe 33, 34. I know they're made millionaires, but that's their job done, isn't it? Papa Firth, good evening to you, sir. I don't blame Jesse for taking his time. He's been treated like dirt. You're totally right. That's totally right, Taz. I'll give you. That's a real good shout there. Newcastle is located in not London. That helps West Ham. It certainly does. Look at Newcastle. Newcastle got all the money in the world. They're only starting to make some moves now. And again, they're not paying silly money. They can pay for silly money, but people like Botman, I think, is going to be good for them. I think Pope's going to be good for them, obviously. For job satisfaction, more important than money. For some people, it is. For some people, it isn't in the same way. But I think it's lifestyle as well. And, I think the whole Jesse thing's a really interesting thing. And I think, I get really annoyed when people go, I think, it's very not old fashioned, but it was old football where people play for the badge. 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, play for the badge. Doesn't happen no more. Football are mercenary. It's a job. They're the same as everyone else now. They move from job to job. Very few people stay in the same job for 20 years. They'll move to another company and get a little bump on their pay packet. And I think people don't assume football's one thing and their life's different. I appreciate money's completely different in terms of how much they earn to compare to footballers, but the principle's still the same in my opinion. And you want to play for a club, you want to work for a company that you're happy with, but also you want to play for a club that's going to pay you all right, good money as well. It's not just necessarily about job satisfaction. It's about paying the bills. I mean, they've got enough money for them, but you know what I mean. And it's all like in perspective. If they spend God knows how much on a watch, that's how much money they earn. So therefore, it's in perspective. You're right. I mean, he owes us nothing. He totally owes us nothing. He might. That's what I mean. I mean, I was offered the chance to go to live in America and work in America. With an old company of mine, and we were considering it mainly for the lifestyle, for flow and stuff like that. How amazing it would be for her to live out there and and have a fantastic time and maybe a better time than if it was in the UK. It wasn't about a slight in the company I was working for at the time. It was the option was there, and we went out there and looked at it. Didn't happen. Footballers are contractors, not necessarily tied to a football club emotionally. Totally right, Artel. And that's why when you do get the ones which are connected emotionally, you've got to embrace them. So you've got Noble. Flynn Downs, we have to embrace. And he's one of our own. We have to keep that going. Don't get this last payday nonsense. It's not where it is. I mean, it is his last hurrah, really. And that bump in terms of his pay packet, in terms of signing on fee, is his last payday. Nose was the last of his kind club played for club. Nose was one of the last of his kind. I know what you mean, Charles. But Flynn's he's a huge West Ham fan, so I'm looking forward to that. Seems a waste of a career. It does, but that's his opinion. That's his choice, isn't it? As an advisor, we see that as a waste in their career. He's for him. It might be different. We don't know. Declan is a Chelsea boy. Yep. Great to see the reality. I would do the same. Totally would, Papa. Are you on about America is a shit? Oh, East London is wonderful. Oh, he's got a song about it, innit? For the tits, Fanny and West Ham, innit? We all know. At least wait till you're 32, then play in the Burger King League. Yeah, but then the value's not going to be there, GP. His value's not going to be there. His stock's not going to be there. So, look, we'll see what happens. Just greed, not proper football. It's not not just Lingard, Paul. I think it's football in general, Everyone wants new contracts. Everyone wants more money. Everyone wants to do the same as everyone else in the world. Everyone wants to do the job they're doing for more money. So, yeah, I think Lingard's just like, he's like the poster boy for it. But I think everyone's exactly the same. You know, why did, you know, look at I don't know, Grealish going to Man City. He's not going to go there on the same money he was at Villa. In it, and he would have stayed at Villa. He could have still been the main boy. He'd be playing every other game. He'd be playing every game. He would be the poster boy at Villa. But he didn't win to Man City. Same as Calvin Phillips. I mean, look, Calvin Phillips is not going to play every game at City. He's going to be on the bench quite a lot, isn't he? And he's his boyhood club. He went to Leeds and He ain't going to go. He's going to go because he wants to win stuff. But also, he's going for the bunts, isn't it? Probably more on TikTok. A team only interested in money. The team is a team like Man. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's why buying younger, hungrier players, you don't get that as much because it's about them developing. But there'll be a point where they want to move on, and it's about not vilifying them for wanting to move on. So anyway, rant over, ladies and gents. As I said, 5:00 tonight. We're going to be back talking about all great stuff. We're going to be talking about Adama Traore. We're going to be talking about Issa Diop, and then we're going to do a little bit of highlights clips from the Igor Stimac interview we had last night, talking about Nikola Vlasic. Some really interesting things about Nico that Igor put forward, and just to summarise, in the words of Take That, just got to have a little patience. That's basically his summary of us and Vlasic. As I said, if you're new around here, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a bloody good subscribe. As I said, there's probably about 60% of you aren't subscribers for some reason. Why the hell not? It's 2 seconds to press the button. And as I said, if you are wanting to support the channel, become a channel member, hit the join button. Tomorrow we'll do our first weekly draw to win an Untuck It shirt. So anyone who's a member automatically gets entered in for all of our draws. You don't have to you don't say, can I come in? You're automatically entered in for our memorabilia draws every month or our weekly shirt draws. And we'll do that tomorrow. As I said, we're back lunchtime tomorrow. Check it out, ladies and gentlemen. And until then, I hope you have a good rest of the Thursday. I'm actually talking English. Hope you have a good rest of the day. That's better. Stay lucky, stay healthy. Stay hydrated, very important. Stay hydrated, particularly in these hot weathers. I'm looking at you, Gazza. Make sure you're hydrated, my friend. You've got to look after the old people and checking they're all right. Peter, you okay? I hope you're okay as well. I love you all. Anyway, take care and stay safe. I'd like to thank all of our members at the end of our shows. And ciao for now. Have a great rest of the day. See you at 5:00. Don't forget it.
It's like a family tree, part of you and